Welcome to the Young Turks, Cenk, Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Emma Vigeland, everybody.
Hello.
All right. As always, there's a lot of amazing, fascinating stories, but my favorite is Fox News complaining about fairness.
Oh my God.
So that apparently they've been teaching fairness in the schools, and that is unacceptable.
Conservatives love going after AOC. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a prime target of theirs, and her appearance at Trump's State of the Union was no exception. AOC had a rare bad night, looking not inspired, warm and original as usual, but sullen, teenaged, and at a loss.
So when she's enthusiastic, she's young and inexperienced, but when she's serious, she's sullen and teenage. So no matter what, she's young and they hate her for it.
But there is a core here where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez refuses to play by Washington's rules, and it's driving them crazy.
I love it.
From major issues to minor issues like this.
A number of prominent right-wing figures had some pretty critical things to say about Donald Trump's State of the Union address.
This was probably the worst delivered speech I've heard Donald Trump give. He ran over his lines, he mixed up the lines, he didn't deliver his punchlines. Someone didn't do a good job of breaking his speech so he knew what to do.
No, I'm sure they did, but he didn't practice the speech. Of course, the guy hates homework. He's a petulant child.
Yeah.
So that's why he was not prepared. So he's like, cancer, charter schools, whatever. I'm gonna keep going here, I'm tired. Right, when do I get back to eating burgers and watching Fox and Friends?
Ben Shapiro, in typical Ben Shapiro fashion, shared his fast-paced talking points about the State of the Union address that happened last night.
You can see in the background, if you're watching this, that Nancy Pelosi is ruffling through sheets of paper, which, by the way, is kind of rude.
So when Donald Trump talks about grabbing women by the genitalia, well, that's decorum. Shuffling papers, oh my God, what has this country come to? This is just absolutely outrageous.
The Democratic Party and establishment Democrats have been hating on Trump, right? That's never changed. What did change was that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer finally decided to fight. And they finally started to use the same type of strategy that you would typically see on the Republican side. Brett Kavanaugh's position in the DC Circuit Court needs to be filled, and Trump has nominated a woman by the name of Naomi Rao to fill that position. She is currently undergoing Senate hearings. The Senate needs to confirm her, and we're learning quite a bit about her.
She wrote back then, when a woman, quote, drinks to the point where she can no longer choose, well, getting to that point was part of her choice. So if that doesn't blame the victim, it comes awfully close. She said homosexuals want to redefine marriage and parenthood. Now look, she wrote that back in the 1990s. If she's evolved on that, a lot of Democratic politicians have evolved on that. So okay, that'd be fair and I wouldn't hold it against her. The question though is, wait, do you regret it? Have you changed your mind?
Recent polling indicates that the majority of Americans, including the majority of Republican voters, are in favor of raising taxes on the wealthy.
What seems to be a movement against capitalism in this country. Recent polling is showing that the American public is increasingly on board with raising taxes on the rich. Over $1 million in income, 65% are in favor of raising taxes.
Is it anti-capitalist to ask the wealthiest people in the country to pay their fair share of taxes?
They live in that world where a lot of their advertisers and Fox News itself is a giant multi-billion-dollar corporation. Almost all the anchors are incredibly wealthy. So in that circle, they're like, over $1 million, that's middle class. And these guys want to raise taxes on it. So look, Ocasio-Cortez said above 10 million, a dollar above 10 million gets taxed at that rate. When Fox News asked, the audience was like, no, above 1 million. 65%, 2/3 of Americans agreed, yes, raise their taxes.
And we're starting to see kids who grew up in this notion that fairness above all. And now they're becoming voting age and they're bringing this ideology with them.
Fair.
Oh, these kids. They learned about fairness in school.
Justice.
And now they want fairness in the economy.
But this is awesome because it's peak Fox. They don't realize they become a parody of themselves. It's like an SNL skit. They just came out and argued against fairness. So is their audience going to be like, oh yeah, got him again, own the libs. The libs want you to be fair. We want you to be unfair. Peak Fox. It doesn't get any crazier than that. But thank you for admitting who you really are. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.